All right. Welcome, community, to our 31st episode of Roots Resilience. Tonight, we are honored to hear from our very own Peter Afemata and Upumoni Ama. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat, either on Zoom or on YouTube. And of course, thank you for being here. So we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Roots of Resilience podcast, where we grow strength and empower dreams by celebrating Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islanders' small business journeys and community-rooted leadership. My name is Lorraine Tuala Lomoai, and I welcome you all today as your co-host, alongside our Executive Director, Alisi Tulua. Before we introduce our very special guest today, let's start in the ways of our culture with prayer and acknowledgments. I'll go ahead and pass it to Upu to give us our opening prayer.
Thank you, Lorraine. And yes, I'll bless us in. With that, let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you in this prayer, Lord. Just ask you to continue to be with us with this throughout this day. We thank you so much for this day, Lord. You have given us and the opportunities. We also thank you for the abilities to overcome some of the challenges and obstacles, Lord. We ask that you continue to guide us in those areas. Lord, we ask that the Holy Spirit be with us during this episode of Roots of Resilience. Let us speak freely. Let us speak from our heart, Lord, and just reflecting on the stories and journeys that were shared here on this podcast, Lord, as we continue to uplift our small business owner and our entrepreneurs and nonprofits in our community. Lord, we ask as this podcast in and we go on about our evening, Lord. We ask that you go before us and pave the way of protection and guidance. We ask you to be with our families, our kids and grandkids and community alike. And we say and pray these things in Jesus' name. And everyone hear this prayer, say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Upu. So I'm really excited to be here with you all tonight. And at this time, I'd like to give some acknowledgments as part of our cultural protocol. We're grateful for the favor and the blessings of our Heavenly Father, which has brought us together as a community tonight. We give our sacred acknowledgments to the original stewards of this land, the Tongva and the Chumash people. On behalf of SoCal Pickard, we commit our work to supporting your pursuit of self-determination for your current and future generations. We give our deepest respects also to our elders who helped us see our purpose in this work. We acknowledge and thank each of you for being here with us tonight, either here in our recording or on YouTube or even watching later. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And last but not least, I want to thank our special guests, Upumoni Ama and Peter Afemata, for being our honored guests, even though you're not really guests here at Roots of Resilience, are you? With that, let's go ahead and introduce them tonight. It's strange to call you guys guests because this is your house, but we're flipping the script a little bit tonight and wanting to get to know both of you in your capacity as the co-host of Roots of Resilience, all this for the past year and a half and for the past 30 episodes. Thank you for having cultivated such a safe and sharing space for our small business leaders. We look forward to our conversation tonight and your reflections on hosting this space, Roots of Resilience. And with that, I will go ahead and pass it to Lorraine to properly introduce both of you, as you have done so many times over and over for our other guests. So tonight is your turn to receive your flowers. So Lorraine.
Thank you, Alisi. As we say here at SoCal Picker, reading your bio to introduce you is our form of giving you your lays. If we were together in person, a beautiful lay would be presented to you as you're being introduced, as our acknowledgement of all that you've accomplished, that we get to benefit from you today. So please accept your virtual lays as we introduce you tonight. Upu Amo was born in American Samoa and migrated with his family to Compton, California in 1969. Raised by faith-based parents within a strong community environment, Upu learned the values of family, service, and spirituality at an early age. However, growing up in the streets of Compton presented many challenges. As a young man, Upu became involved in gangs, violence, and drug activity, which ultimately led to multiple periods of incarceration. His final prison sentence lasted 24 years, a time that became a turning point in his life. During his incarceration, Upu renewed his faith in God and committed himself to a path of redemption, personal growth, and community service. Today, Upu is a respected community leader dedicated to uplifting youth and families throughout Southern California. He works tirelessly to provide food assistance to communities in need and mentors young people, helping them to avoid the pitfalls he once faced. Upu serves with the Southern California Pacific Islander Community Response Team, SoCal Pickert, as a community navigator and is also the co-host of the Roots to Resilient podcast, where he shares stories of hope, dedication, sacrifice, and commitment. Upu is blessed to share his life with his wife, Sanita, of 32 years. Together, they are proud parents of 6 adult children and grandparents of 17 grandchildren. His life stands as a powerful testament to faith, perseverance, second chances, and the transformative power of community. Thank you, Upu. Now we go on to Peter. Peter Afimata is a community leader, faith advocate, youth mentor, and former gang member from Southern California whose life reflects a powerful gang to gospel transformation. Raised in Paramount, Compton, and Long Beach, Peter walked away from gang life in 2019 and returned fully to his faith in Jesus Christ, using his life experiences to help others find healing, purpose, and redemption. He was a co-founder of the FO Movement, a grassroots ministry focused on guiding at-risk youth, chemically independent and formerly incarcerated individuals toward faith, healing, and positive life choices. Peter has been married to his wife Sabrina since 2001, and together they have built a strong family foundation with 6 children and 2 grandchildren. Today, Peter serves as the branch president of the Cottonwood Young Single Adult Branch in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, where he ministers to and mentors young adults in their spiritual journey. He also serves as a community navigator for SoCal Pickert and is the co-founder of Community Peacemaker, where he leads the YUP program, Youth Utilizing Peace, for at-risk youth ages 12 to 18, and organizes monthly food distributions in Compton and Long Beach to strengthen families and communities. And with that, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Alici.
Thank you, Lorraine. Let me find our script. I have completely lost my place in it. Um, Thank you for reading those. I know, guys, that I hope you know how it feels when you've given other people their flowers during Roots to Resilience. I hope you feel the weight of the lays that have been placed upon you, at least for tonight. So I'm going to give a little bit of background on Roots to Resilience and the program that it rests in. We're so happy to have this opportunity to sit with both of you and reflect on this journey that we've taken with Roots of Resilience and really the tremendous work that the two of you have carried with this work. So before we get to our questions, I want to give a little bit of background. So Peter and Upu have served as community navigators for our Pacific Pathways program here at SoCal Pickard, which is a program to help support a small business community in the in the service planning area in LA County that our community is in. And what that means is that we connect NHPI communities to resources to help support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and families who have housing needs. Roots of Resilience was created as our way to reach our community, get to know our small business community, and really highlight and uplift those that have taken that route to support not just their families, but the structure of our community overall. And so by supporting our small businesses, that we hope that the resources that we shared help to strengthen and empower the dreams and of the families that are part of those circles. So this program was funded. Well, I say was because it feels like it's past tense, but this program is currently funded by the LA County American Rescue Plan funds, which was part of response to COVID and supporting small businesses who were impacted during COVID and communities that were impacted during COVID. I think I'll insert here also that this grant actually ends on June 30th, which is why this episode is focused on reflecting on what we've done in the past year and a half. But we will share with you how we plan to continue with Roots of Resilience and, of course, handing back the mic to Peter and Upu moving forward. But with that, I'll give a little bit of introduction of myself so we can move forward. As Lorraine shared, I'm currently, I have the honor of serving as the executive director of SoCal Pickard. And I have served in this role formally for less time that Peter and Upu have been in their roles as navigators. So I came on into the executive director role in 2004. I mean, not 2004, sorry, we didn't even exist in 2024. And so I've been in this role for 2 years. And I have had the pleasure of really learning from Peter and Upu in this space. But I came to this role having spent the past 20 years working in nonprofits across California, serving our Pacific Islander community and in some roles serving the larger Asian and Pacific Islander community, and have just learned so much from so many generous leaders, some that have passed on and some that continue to be in community today. And I continue to feel lucky that they get to pour into me still. I am a Tongan immigrant who moved here with my parents and my siblings in 1990. I was born and raised in Tonga and grew up here in Monterey, California, where I currently live with my elderly parents. My father is from Nukunuku and Watu'u in Tongatapu, and my mother is from Pangai Ha'apai and Kolomotua. And so I will hand it off to my co-host to introduce herself.
Thank you, Alici. Hi, everyone. I'm Lorraine Tualalongwai, the other co-host. I'm currently the program manager for the Community Navigators program, along with our Pacifica Wellness and Opioid Prevention programs. I am Samoan. My mom is from Fankongo, American Samoa, and my dad is from Nofoali'i in Samoa. Born and raised in West Covina, raised in San Gabriel Valley. I love being an auntie to 30 plus nieces and nephews. I'm married to my lovely husband for nearly a decade. I'm also a licensed clinical social worker, and I am very happy and honored to be here co-hosting with Alici, and I'll pass it back to her.
Thank you. So, guys, we're coming to you now. And this just feels like one of our check-in meetings that we have every week. And I'm excited to have these conversations on this platform. We've already introduced you formally, but maybe we missed some things in your bio. But I want to give you both a chance to say hello as guests. Say hello and add anything to the introductions that Lorraine and I might have missed. So welcome, Peter and Upu.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll go first. No, you guys said everything. I'm just grateful to be in this seat and just hear also how humble you guys are. You guys are both of you guys got a master's degree and you guys don't want to share that. Well, I'm gonna give you guys your guys' lays, and it's been an honor for me to learn from both of you. This is I never went to college. This is my college right here. Feel like I'm getting schooled by two professors, and it's just been an honor to serve and work with you guys through this whole Roots of Resilience and even beyond it. So, just thank you for the time.
Yeah, for me, you guys, I didn't think I'll be this nervous on this side of the mic, on this side of the camera, but it's all good. But yeah, I'm ready just to get this episode going. Let's talk about some of the things that happened during Roots of Resilience episodes and podcasts, and can't wait to hear what the future holds for us. And thank you
Nice.
guys for that lovely bio too.
Yeah. Thank you. So we'll jump right in here. Can you talk about what inspired the creation
Mm.
of Roots and Resilience? And you know, you guys have been here from like inception, even just like what are we gonna do? So can you talk about that if you think back to when we were having these discussions about how do we engage community and what did you hope people would feel or take away from a place like this?
Yeah. I'll go first, Oaks? You good? I know for me, when we first started, and I love, Upu always shares this when we finish it. He was like, man, it was just think about it. It was just a thought. And now we're here 30 episodes later. And it was a thought. And I remember when we first all got together, got the grant, talked about what was asked of us to do. And one thing I love about SoCal Picker is this is us. This is we're gonna serve how we serve, how we like best fit our skin, right? And we're storytellers. So instead of going out there and doing some kind of survey or giving information out, we was like, man, let's interview our people. Let's celebrate them. Let's give them the chance to share their story and hear our people's listen to the grassroots of it because that's what type of people we are. So I think that was the first initial conversation that we had, and look, we're here today.
Yeah, I remember when we was told that, hey, we under this new grant. This is what's asked of it. It's for small businesses. And at first, we attempted to do, and the beauty of it, it was for our folks, the Pacific Islanders. And we were like, oh, yeah, heck yeah. And me and Pete looked at each other. Wait a minute, we don't know nothing about businesses, but we just wanted to be in the mix. And so, remember the first month, Pete, we went door to door style type of introduction. We was like salesmen. We went to Nelly over there at Islands Boutique and Island Ladies and Boutique and Poasa. That was our first visit, and after we talked to him, introduced him, kind of gave him a vague idea of what Roots of Resilience was or what we was doing. And I remember afterwards, after like 2 hours of doing that, we debriefed. We went in the car, sat down, and talked about it. Like, man, we got to come up with a better plan. We got to come up with something better than this door to door style. But I loved it too. Once we nailed down that idea, I remember Pete was suggesting, "Hey, let's do a podcast." And man, what better way to? I remember we were thinking, yeah, because to uplift those who we believe that should be uplifted in our community, but is invisible in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of folks are some of our local businesses is just in our city, and a lot of our community families don't know it. And so, what a great opportunity, and what a great way for us to highlight our small businesses and entrepreneur in our community.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think I'm gonna just give a little bit of like nonprofit context to some of the answers here is that what's really beautiful about this sector is that you get to imagine what you want to do and what you think could really work for our own people, right? Like they sometimes, very rarely, they will tell us what to do, but a lot of times the expectation is that we're going to give you the grant because you know your community better than anybody else, and then you tell us what approaches will work. And so that allows for us to brainstorm and innovate and think about new ideas of engaging community. So yeah, when you guys were like, we're gonna make a list of businesses and visit them and let them know these are resources. So we were like, let's try it. And then, and the podcast idea came up. Like Pete, I think it was Peter that said, like, we should do a podcast. But like I think there was some doubt about like whether that would be a good idea, but it was like, let's try it. And I think that's the beauty of being in this sector is that if there's an idea, there's an openness to like, let's try it out, right? And see if it works. And then if it doesn't, then we can tweak it or try something different. But I'm glad that we bet on the podcast because it has really had some returns that I know for me that was not expected. But I'm also not surprised because the two of you have already existing relationships in the community. and you are leaders that are trusted by community, and you have been able to engage and embrace and bring into the fold parts of our community that I think like some of us that have been in nonprofit have not always been successful at engaging. So both of you being on this grant definitely brought a level of success that I don't think we would have been able to reach. So I just wanted to mention that at the top of this. So thank you for being here. But I want to pass it over to my partner here for our next question.
Thanks, Alicia. So just what Alicia was saying, one of the things that I love working with both of you is the courage that you have and the fearlessness to try something new. Like even if we may have not done it before or we're not familiar, like Alicia said, in our team, it's like, okay, let's just try it. Let's try and see what happens. So the next question is when you look back at that very first episode, with Favai, what feels different about you, the podcast, and the community you've built?
I say for me, it was an honor to have Fabai as the first guest because not only did we interview him, he kind of schooled us afterwards. He was like, "Hey, you got some advice, man?" And me and Upu we're humble to get advice from him, and he kind of broke it down to us about hearing from the audience and understanding what they want to hear and give them the chance to ask questions, right? And basically we implemented that, as we went in the our road to resilience. So just learning as we were going. Upu, we had we have these things called Upuisms, right? And Upu says, man, we were building a plane in the air, and I mean it really was. And I think to go from that first episode to now, it's been a blessing because I learned so much and gained relationships. Gained relationships like now we not only interview them, we don't now we're hanging out with each other. Now we like doing collaborations with them, and so it became family. And I think that's the best part about this was and being trusted by them. Like I said, some of them it was their first time. Some of them was their first time, and they was like, man, because it was you, Ubu, I mean, because it's you, Ubu, man, I'm gonna do it, and that felt good. That felt good to be trusted by your community. So that's on me. Thanks.
Thanks, Pete. You took my answer, Oos.
My
Uh,
bad. My bad. It
no, but I was going to speak along those same lines as well. As far as what's the difference for me is the trust in the community. Because when we did first start reaching out to ask people to join our podcast, a lot of them was like, "What are you guys doing?" Or well, what's this for? And why are you guys picking me? Well, I'm nobody, or I'm just minding my own business. What are you guys doing here? And then fast forward to like episode 20 on up. It's like, man, thank you guys for considering us. And a lot of them have viewed some of the episode prior to their interview. So I think once they seen some of the episodes, and found that, hey, oh man, Upu and Pete don't bite. Start trusting us a little more. So that was huge for me too, to be trusted by the community. It's one of those things I carry around with me still today. That guilt that the community have a hard time trusting me. So for me personally, just to have them trust me and show me that love is like it's huge for me, you guys.
Yeah, and another thing I want to add on too, right, is now they're asking to be on the show, right? Some of them were like, "Hey man, can I be on Roots Brazilians?" So like, "Damn, where were you at when we needed a guest?"
Did you know how
Nah,
many times we had to find
right?
find guests?
Call Samoa if we have any guests out there. No, but yeah.
Lorraine, did you have a follow-up to that?
Yeah, well, kind of going along those same lines, I just wanted to ask, like, during that time, was there a moment where you realized that this podcast had become bigger, than just a show or just a grant or a program? Like, did you feel like, oh, maybe we're on to something? Was it like early on, in the middle?
Yeah,
I,
for me, it was. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I've been talking first all the time. My
no,
bad,
go
babe.
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Oos.
I don't want you to steal my
That's
answer
my
again, so
elder.
I'll go first. Now, I think for me was what what you say? I'm sorry, Lorraine.
Oh, was there a moment when you realized the podcast was bigger than just a
Yes,
podcast? Hmm.
yes, when the relationships,
Hmm.
relationship, Peter and I, or just me and my personal relationship. A lot of these former guests, Peter knew them prior, and some of them that Peter knew prior, I didn't know. So I had to establish my personal relationship with them, other than oh, that's Peter's friend.
Mm,
And man, just once again, just to go back, the relationship is I cherish them today. I cherish these brothers and sisters who I came in contact with, established a relationship with, a bond, and like Pete said, now we're just collaborating or just texting each other. Some of us on the same spiritual group chats, and we communicate in that way. But yeah, I think it's the relationship for me
mm,
that I realize, man, this roots of resilience is doing um, something bigger than us just providing resources to our local small businesses.
right.
Pete, I hope I didn't steal
Yeah.
your answer.
No, no, not at all, man. And it just gave me more time to reflect on my answer. So,
Dang it,
and
man! I know I said
it
reflect.
did. But no, it did. And I think at the moment where it hit me was when we interviewed Joe Bapulu,
Mm,
because of my boy youngster, man, love the Toko, man. But there's some history between, his side and his Tongan family friends and my family friends from where we grew up at, and kind of hearing that he moved to the Bay because of that history and it just basically brought the trauma back, and I knew like, oh man, this is healing right here. There's some healing, and he took the interview because of me and Upu, and like to have that trust from him, and to this day, me and Upu are in collaboration with him and his brother doing the food distribution out there in Long Beach at the Methodist Church. It just like at that interview, I was like, wow, this is dope. And then a friend of mine who grew up within that trauma back in the days text me was like, man, bro, that was big. That
mm,
interview got me emotional, and it got me emotional, just to think about where we came from and where we at today, and healing instead of going back and forth like we did back in the days. And Upu says it best. I'm always gonna use Upu's phrases, so sorry I get my own phrases, but I'll use Upu's phrase, and he always says, hurt people, and heal people." And
mm.
today we're peacemakers, so we're able to heal, and I'm so grateful for Joe healing, and we're able to talk about things that were uncomfortable back in the days to where we are one today. So, thank you for that great question.
I'll go ahead and pass it to my co-host for the next question.
Yeah, thank you guys for sharing that. And I think remembering back, that was probably the first time like one of our episodes was kind of, I don't know what you would call viral, but like that was one episode that got a lot of hits. And I think that conversation was one of the first times like that really our Roots of Resilience was being watched by people who may not even know what SoCal Pickard was.
Mm.
And so I think there's a lot to say about the power of that, and to think that the Roots of Resilience was created because we were charged with sharing resources with our small business community, and we decided that this is a way to do it. But then it became a mechanism for these kinds of conversations that had all these additional impacts.
True.
Um,
Right.
that's
Mind you,
really,
too. Remember, Alicia, that was when the Lofas Day, right? That was
yes,
the interview before, right? Before the Lofas Day
before
or
Alofa's
after?
Day.
Oh yeah, yes. Sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, that was yeah, so I think like what I wanted to highlight was our charge for this program was to outreach to our small businesses and give them resources so
Mm.
that so that they can recover from any impacts of COVID and all of that. um but what has happened because of this is more than us sharing small business resources. It's really opened the door for some conversations that would have been harder to find space for. So, but that's because you guys are able to hold space for that and create opportunity for those conversations. So, and I just want to um there's a YouTube comment from D, and I think this supports what I just said is there, and there here means you two, Upo and Peter. Their compassion and love for our people is evidence of their heart love of their heart. Love them both. So thank you, YouTube.
Look out, D.
If you have questions or if you have comments and love, please drop them in the comments, and it will be shared with us here. Thank you for tuning in. But one of the things that I was thinking back, and this, I don't know if this was intentional. Our first four guests were people that I think we reached out to because number one, they have a couple of them already had established small businesses, right? Like our first was Favai Favai, and then our second guest was Nancy Thompson, who's had her design and fashion business for a while. And then our next two guests was the Chamorro
Freddie
Freddie
Gutierrez.
and
Gutierrez,
Dana.
and
Yes. And
Dana
then Dana
Miller.
LeDoux Miller. So these are like trained media people who are used to being interviewed and know how. So I feel like, I don't know if we intentionally did that, but our first four episodes like kind of helped us get warmed up and get settled
Mhm.
into Roots of Resilience was with people who had experience. And so shout out to God for guiding us in that way.
Amen. Amen.
And so with that, like, what's been a story or a guest or a conversation? I know, Peter, you already mentioned the conversation with Joe Vaipulu, but are there other stories or like guests or memorable conversations that have stayed with you the most? And yeah, I know there are many to choose from, but if there are some that stand out for you, if you want to share that.
Go ahead, Bigos.
I
Peter
think
wants time to think.
yeah. All right, I got you. And D, email you your gift card later. Appreciate the love. I think for me, I think Peter mentioned it that before he brought it to my attention that everybody we reach out to uh, after the Fabulous Four guests, it's none of them went to school for business. It was like a theme of all our, because we would ask them, "What'd you go to school for business?" I didn't. They all just said they just, you know, felt the Holy Spirit and just went with it. And to me, that was just, it spoke volume on resilience and dedication, sacrifice, commitment, everything that we wanted Roots of Resilience to embody. But because of that lack of education in business, when we was going out to offer resources, the main resources that was required was funding. Like all the small businesses, that what I was like, hey, how can we help? They were like, you got funding, you got access to funding. And that took me back to what Pete had brought to my attention. Oh, none of our people went to school for education, because I thought about it. Because now that I'm in with SoCal Pickard and looking up all these resources, I see that there are resources for funding. It's just our folks not educated on how to go. And I think because of lack of that education, they don't know how to go about like the funding part, or I don't know. I
Yeah, like
just
small business grants, things
exactly,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, things like that. And so it was just that I put a bookmarker on. I know me and Pete was talking about like, man, most of our folks, they straight gusto. They just go out there and do it. But then it does show itself in the business world, and they'll even some of them admit it too. Like, man, this sometimes they'll talk to other business owner in their lanes or in their field, and they're like, man, they're like way before us or ahead of us. And us, we just try to. I think as a people, we just have this faith that we're going to get it done one way or another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that, Upu.
Yeah. I think I'm sorry. I'm so into Upu's answer. I forgot the question.
Oh, you want me to go
What's
again?
I'm
Huh?
like,
You want
yeah,
me
I
to go
remember that.
again?
I remember that.
If I
What's the
ask it again, Upu gets another chance to answer.
okay. Now, what was the
It was
question?
about like a story or a
Oh,
guess or a conversation that has stayed with you.
I think this is the beauty of working in our space, right? Because we were able to do it the way we want to do it. And I think when I was looking back at our episodes, man, what got me emotional was seeing the tribute to Fiji and also to interview my wife. I was like, oh man, I interviewed my wife, and I got emotional just looking back at that interview and just seeing her growth and seeing her progression in her space, right? And just understanding like, man, like I'm able to in this like I'm 46 years old. I've worked so many jobs, been everywhere around the world. I could say this was the best job I ever had because I'm able to be with my peoples and do it the way we do it. And when obviously when Feej passed away, I mean, that's big bro for me. And at least he gave us the freedom to be like, let's do a tribute for Feej. It has nothing to do with business, but just like let's do that. It was honorable, right? And just to think about it, like it was so emotional. Ooh, ooh. Yeah. It was so emotional, man, because I miss Big Oops, man. I miss Big Bro. We had so many great conversations, and one quote I always remember him saying is like, "Nobody likes a quitter," and so we continue to move forward in roots of resilience, um, the way we do it, right? We're gonna keep pushing, keep doing this beautiful thing that God has given us a platform to share. And yeah, sorry about that. I got a little emotional thing about Big Bro, man, and our conversations. And I just remember the last time I talked to him was on my birthday. I was with my wife and my kids and mom, and he was in Fiji and he FaceTimed me. And I was looking at the car and picked up the car, and next thing you know, he just started singing "Happy Birthday." And I don't want to sing because I don't want to ruin the podcast. But yeah, he just started singing, and man, I looked at him, and normally my wife and the family, they could hear him sing. Is that Fiji? Is that Fiji singing? So yeah, yeah. But they were like, oh, let's see Fiji. But I didn't want to show him because he was so sick. He looked this, and after he sung Happy Birthday, he said, I love you. I said, I love you back. And after I hung up the phone, and I knew that was the last time I was gonna see him. And man, yeah, so thank you, Alicia. Thank you, SoCal Pickett, for allowing me to talk freely about Big Bro, man. Man, I miss that guy, man. But a lot of funny moments with them, man. So that's one thing that I'll definitely put that in the memory bank right there. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's beautiful. I think that so many of us may not necessarily like we have a kind of a parasocial relationship with Fiji. Like we feel like we know him because we've been fans of his for a long time. But there's an opportunity for us to see somebody who's like a brother, who is a brother through the grieving process. And so it was thank you for allowing us to witness your grief and hold space for it, as all of us were also grieving, maybe not at the degree that you were grieving, but you allowed that space for us to sit with you because we were also mourning this great uh, legend in our community. And I think that's also the beauty of doing this work in nonprofit is we get to define what matters to us. And you both already know that here at SoCal Pickard, we don't function like corporations where things keep moving regardless what's happening in people's lives. We acknowledge what happened or what's happening in our community and things that are happening in our staff's lives, and we acknowledge that in our work and make space for that. So, thank you for being open to that. And I remember also when Lorraine and I suggested that we have your wife be a guest for the tremendous work that she has done. I remember I didn't before I met you, and I found her boutique. Like I saw her boutique on Instagram and like just like loved her style and the ambition and then so it was an honor for me to be like, can we interview your wife, please? As a leader of her in her rightful place, right? Like she does tremendous things and has amazing ideas that she has put into place that have impacted so many people, including me. So thank you and you were surprised. You're like, my wife? Like what? What? So
No,
yeah, thank you for that.
thank you for allowing me to have that moment with her. We get to look back at it and be like, look, babe, we interview each other. Now it's her time to interview me. No, no, but
Exactly.
great, it's grateful to hear her
Yeah.
story, and even
Mhm.
like sharing about our son. You guys, a lot of people hear my story about me grieving over and healing over my son, but really a lot of people ask me, man, how's your wife doing? And for
Mhm.
her to be on SoCal Picker and sharing that, I think I want to say that's the first time she did that. As far as like
Mhm.
out in the open, and so it took her back a little bit, but I'm grateful she was able to muster some resilience and push through it. Yeah.
Nice. Before I jump into the next question, just wanted to share some YouTube comments from Uso
Hey,
Crips
you
over
too.
here.
Hey, you.
It, they said I met both of these gentlemen at the American Legion in Norwalk, helping out Sister Esther with the food bank. Alofa to Usos. So showing you some love on YouTube.
Qué bueno, qué bueno.
Um, yeah, so the next, oh, and this is also a YouTube question. How has Roots of Resilience helped you to better serve the community?
Man, real quick, I know I'm talking too much, but they just definitely want to share a story that really got me was when we asked Nelly to if she want to come to our podcast. And one thing that struck out to me was like she was so shocked that someone wanted to hear her story. And I think that's what hit me the most was here we are, trying to make sure we do our part as for this grant and getting the information to not only to our peoples in the business, small businesses, and then to hear the audience her story, but to understand that she realized like, man, I did not know, I didn't think anybody want to hear her story, and it just made me realize like I don't know, I guess it put a human feeling to it, to where like, hey man, you guys want to be a podcast? Show your business, get your business out there. But realizing like, man, you know what? Has anyone asked them how their journey was? And so it was an honor to give that opportunity to so many of our peoples like Nelly, to give the opportunity to share their business. They're like, oh man, man, someone wants to know about my business and my journey. That's awesome. So yeah, that's one thing, was to get to know their journey, how they're going, what they're going through, to help better serve them, man. And we're nonprofit, so we're supposed to get resources and give to our peoples, and so it feels good to give them the resources that they need, and to follow up on it too, to be like, hey, did you guys get this, get that, and really go really follow through with it. So that was my take on that question. That's how it helped me better serve.
Thanks, Peter. How about you, Apu?
For the YouTube question or
Hmm. The
what was that
YouTube question.
question? I'm sorry.
It's
How
okay. How has Roots of Resilience helped you to better serve the community?
how it helped me to better serve the community?
Mm,
Man, uh, I just think the a standard now in the community, the way I carry myself, knowing that people trust me, like they gave me their trust, and I want to honor their trust. I want to make sure
Amen.
when I'm out there, I'm representing their trust the right way. Yeah, I think it helped me a lot of way, empower me to move better, and especially when I'm in our community, just to be, of service at all time, to be, always checking on folks, see what they need, whatever the task is, small or large, just try to be of service. And then sometimes I get from the community, they be like, "Man, just chill. Let us do for you." I'm like, "Nah, man, we got to make sure the focus is right, man. Got to make sure the focus is right." And I think one of the other things is what stuck out to me, and I think I shared it on one of our early episodes on why I love doing this, is when I first got into community service or nonprofit work. I remember one of my mentors that I had shared with that are who's non-Pacific Islander, and I share with him how Pacific Islander community lack resources, and he told me that actually Pacific, you guys don't lack resources, you guys lack being resourceful. And although it was hard to hear, but man, I took heed to that. It like it slapped me in the face, but it lit a fire at the same time. You're like, what? Dang, you're right. And so I love me and Pete. We love doing that today. Along with SoCal Picker, we love being an organization to try to go get resources and provide them to family, and offer them to family who otherwise wouldn't have access to these resources.
Thanks, guys. Oh, we got some more questions from YouTube. So
Oh,
I'll
you
just
got job is getting
continue.
easy tonight. Come on, YouTube.
I
Y'all
know,
giving
man.
them the
I was
day
like, oh,
Come on,
off,
where are
Ray.
we
man.
going
Don't,
with
don't,
these
don't let this
questions?
YouTube take over our interview. Come on.
This question is, having done 30 episodes is a great achievement, and the great work you guys are doing, it requires a lot of time and energy. How do you guys find balance between family life and work life? Ooh, that's a good one.
Man, that is a good one. Go ahead, Big O's. You want to answer that one first?
Man, I'm scoring below 500 on that. So my time management, you guys, is it definitely need a lot of working on. But I'm getting the hang of it. I do understand that there is things that need my immediate attention, need me to prioritize, and I'm getting better at it. But it's a juggle that you gotta manage and schedule. It's hard when you don't practice it, but like anything in life, the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So it's getting easier, but it's still a challenge for me. I'm terrible at time managing, y'all. But it's getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah, for me, I I think obviously going back to when my son passed away, I was trying to find some healing, and at that time, folk movement was created, right? And I remember just being in it and just thinking, and I wasn't doing it full time, right? I was just in it just to find a group of brothers uh, from different walks of life to trying to do right. And I think that led that fire in me to say, man, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to serve our community and heal, right? And going back to what Opal said, hurt people, heal people. And so just want to continue to be around people with healing and serve the community. And then it went hand in hand with my family. My family loved doing it. My wife has her organization, Fit Sistership. So she was serving. I was serving with folk movement. She was serving Fit Sistership. We were serving in church. So I guess you could say we just the whole family of service. And to balance it out is that we just support each other. I was able to support my wife. My wife was able to support me. I think that's the biggest thing in anything in life is the support system you have. And doing this work, man, like I said, the best job ever. You got a boss who understands our culture, who is our culture, and understands we serve differently. Being present. Not just here's the information. Like we actually want to be there, walk you through it. We want to be able to make sure you see you through it, right? Because we're a big family, and people get that. People get that when they're around us. They feel like family. And Opal said it best: the trust. And so trying to balance it out, it's like just adding more family members to our to our family, right? Just like, and then we all support each other, man. And now we're doing our food distribution in Compton, and my siblings are coming out there helping me out, and that's a beautiful thing. And so we're just one big family doing what we were doing when we were raised, serving. So I guess you could say that's the balance. That's how we balance it out. Definitely self care. Definitely make sure I take care of myself, spiritually and physically, so I could be able to pour from a full cup and not an empty cup.
Yeah, I think when it comes to balance, I think all of us are in the same boat. We all try to figure it out, no matter how old we are. And I think you said, Peter, we talked about trust earlier. Um, One thing that does come to mind with both of you is presence and showing up. So I know like even on your weekends and your days off, you're always, showing up for one person, whether it's a youth or an organization or a friend. Um, and that speaks volumes to people. That's how we build trust, not only with other people, but within our community. When people see you supporting other people, they're like, oh, okay, like we each of us have limited time. We don't know how much time we have. But it means a lot when you show up for somebody. And so yeah, with the balance, I think that's something we all work on. We try hard, we try our best, with what we have, but I think both of you are very intuitive about, where you need to be for whatever person it is at that time. Because you never know what people are going through. Um, so yeah, I'll go ahead and pass it over to my co-host since I feel like I've been talking a lot. So
No, don't give it back to me. I'll talk forever. Um, it's funny, this question, I don't know, it's asked at workplaces all the time, like how you have work-life balance. And I had settled on this answer a long time ago that this work is my life, and so I don't need to balance it. I'm in it.
True.
This is my life. My family's
True.
in this work.
Mhm.
The world, my world, the world revolves around this because this is my purpose, and so yeah, like like Peter, your presentation today at staff meeting about, finding ways to pour into the different parts of what you consider to be care.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, anyway, I'll go back to our questions here. Um, you two have touched on a lot of the stories that we were hearing throughout the past 30 episodes about our folks feel like this is their first time being interviewed, them feeling nervous because they didn't know that their story, like who's gonna want to hear my story, um, which all of us were reminded every episode, like it's important, like centering our community in these conversations so important. And there's a certain kind of power that comes from that, from feeling seen and feeling like you belong somewhere. And I also want to just give you both a shout out because you would go visit. I remember you would go, you would, in our meeting, you'll say, oh yeah, we went this weekend, we went and checked out one of the businesses and, like hung out and talked story. And we have these partnerships and ideas. And I would go, you guys make sure you capture that for our reports because that's work, right? You know that's part of the work, right? Like you're like, oh yeah, we were just like hanging out. It's like make sure you include that in our reporting. That's part of how it looks like what people call work is what we do normally, right? Like building relationships, following through, showing up, supporting, going to the restaurant, buying food, that's what people would call part of the work. To us, that's just how we function with each other.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, that's just how we are. So, with that, I want to ask this question about what are some strengths that you've witnessed in our NHPI community that you wish that the wider world recognized more?
I think for me, the right now, the current climate, Polynesian Pacific Islander is got this idea that where this group of people that oh, you don't mess with them. It's all over social media. Oh, 100 Samoans versus 100 gorillas, who would win? People, all the Samoans, of course, is like just methodically putting us in an idea of or a group where uh, I believe that's fine and dandy, but I don't think that people don't touch on our humility side. Very humble people, and very very giving people,
Mm,
and I just feel that our hopefully roots of resilience, as well as when we're in the community, whether it's service or being at an event, that we hold those standards, that we try to, oh, so people will see me, and by stature they'd be like, oh man, he's pretty big guy, he's a pretty big guy, kind of look dangerous, so they kind of steer clear from me. uh Little do they know, man, I'm probably the friendliest, safest person in that event that they can come across, But they don't know until they interact with me, and like, man, I seen you and you across the room, you just didn't look approachable, and now, man, we're changing number, taking selfies together, hey, and it's like, I do want to get that, I won't say reputation, but that stigma is like,
Mm,
oh, don't mess with us some more, and he's just gonna beat you up, and I,
yeah,
I don't want that to follow us around, or
yeah.
our youth. I don't want that stigma to follow our youth. I want people to know that, hey, we are very giving people, we're loving, caring people. Uh, yeah, I guess I'll just land there. Pete, I see you ready with your answer.
I was listening so into to your answer, I forgot the question again.
To summarize Upu's answer, that we have depth and strength in strengths that people are not seeing because they just stick to whatever the stereotypes are saying about us. But the question is, what are some strengths that you witnessed about our communities that you wish the wider world recognized more?
I think I said this in our meeting a couple of times, right? Hopefully, someone that's not Pacific Islander don't get offended, but I feel like our culture is the answer to the world's problems. Our faith and family, and like what you guys say about being present, right? I think that's what matters the most is being present and being together. And like I said, man, going back to the best job in the world, I remember when my pops passed away, and at least he gave everyone a day off. See, now you're gonna get me crying again. And and came to my pop's funeral. And I don't know about y'all, but what work does that? And I think like that's where you sit back and be like, man, we're so sometimes we can look at the wrong things as happiness or I don't know the answer to certain problems, but and at the end of the day, being there for each other during those difficult times. I know for me, that was you know, that was huge for me to see my work family there. You know what I mean? My SoCal Picker family there, and just to be seen and cared for, like this is work right here. This is work. Not like, oh, sorry, we can't go to the funeral because we got to do this deadline. We got to do this. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that was last year, or what was the funeral last year?
Mm.
And we're still here, right? You know what I mean? Like no one's missing an assignment. You know what I mean? Back then, right? Everyone, what we're talking about, how present we was for me at the time, and others, right? And so I think that's what I wish more of our peoples would know is instead of trying to um, how you doing keep up with the Joneses,
Mm.
keep up with the Pacific Islanders. And you know what I mean, and be present for each other, man. And I love it, man. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that can be our another podcast.
There we go.
Keeping
not
up with
not
the Pacific Islanders.
not
Keeping up
keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the Seones.
keeping up with the juniors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I think that again, I will sing the praises of nonprofits, but you definitely will not get rich here. You can barely pay our bills, but there's a trend on social media of like, I'm rich because, and then you show all the other things that's not monetary. That like our community's rich because we care in that way, and I think as part of our that's not, like I think what I had said in that instance is like going to the funeral is our work today.
yeah.
And so, showing up for our staff, showing up for our community in care and love is part of our work. Like that is how we function here at SoCal Pickard, and we center our community in that way.
Well, I love for some reason something's coming to me to always give the flowers to SoCal Picker because I remember when so me and Uber we did that Actually, Oprah, not me, but he did that talk at the endowment,
Mm.
and I remember, there was an organization that saw Oprah's story, heard Oprah's story, and long story short, right, they wanted to give us a grant, for the Up program, and then when we interviewed them, they said, man, we just love the way your community shows up for you guys.
Oh,
They had the lay for you, and they gave that, and going back, like that's just us, that's just who we are, right? And so I would always just remind myself, man, continue to be who you are, and continue to be of service, represent your family well, and have faith in God, and our Savior Jesus Christ, and continue to do the work. And that's true happiness. And so, yeah, we
that's
always try to
right.
think we need money. Like, no, we need to be there for each other.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say like shout out to Nelly and Island Lays and Boutique, which is where we get our like whenever we show up with lays for either other people from our community or for our own staff when we are on panels or things like that, we get our lace from Nelly's shop because we want to support our small businesses. This has also allowed us to also use our small businesses for other activities we've had to cater when some of our meetings have food. We cater it from our small businesses and not at a discount, even though they always offer to give us a discount,
Right?
right? Because we want to give them pay it fully, pay their worth. So, this grant has also allowed us to tap in and connect deeper with our own small business community, in supporting our work. So, I want to ask another question from YouTube. I love how engaged YouTube is. Um,
Come on,
and
you
this is
too.
a kind of a big question. Um, this is from D1 and only wants to know, just so we understand, what is your why? Why SoCal Pickard or Roots of Resilience? I guess maybe either one you can answer. What's your why?
My wife.
For SoCal Pickard or just a nonprofit period?
Whichever you get to choose.
Yeah, okay. I'll go.
So while you're thinking, I'll read out some comments.
Yes.
So these are comments from Lucy Latu. Shout out, Lucy, tuning in on YouTube. Lucy works for Talama for Tongans, a nonprofit in the Bay Area.
Woo
And
woo.
she said, it's such a trip trying to articulate to non-Polys or non-Pacific Islanders what is already part of our DNA, our norm as Pacific Islanders, like respecting our elders. To act or behave what is against our PI way literally makes me cringe. This is still from Lucy. Like if I if I eat standing up, which is such a taboo in Tongan culture, I can feel my ancestors slapping me upside the head.
Oh, that's you and me both, Lucy. My dad would be like, hey,
Come here,
hey. Well,
come here, come here.
yeah. Don't even have to
But
say
all my
nothing.
friends do it, Mom. All my friends do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. But sorry, what was the question again?
What is your why?
Oh my what, man. You know, I think when we were um, starting from the beginning in the folk movement, and just hearing everyone's story and how God brought us together and finding the why, right? Or and just understanding about healing. And then my why is I found healing in this. I found healing in this because I was so hurt when my son passed away that not only did I find healing in it, I found joy in it and I found strength in it. And then I found out I'm really good in this. And man, Alicia, I always go back to that moment when I shared with you when I went to college, San Bernardino College, Valley College, and they were talking to PI kids saying what's their talents and gifts. And a lot of them was talking about, I could sing, I could play football, and all these things. And I remember you sharing with me, like, we're so caught up in westernized talent that we forget that our culture talents are like gifts of serving and respect and humility, or what's that, hospitality, right? Like those are the gifts. And it just hit me when you told me. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm a great server, right? I love serving people, and that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And you know what? It trickled down to when we were doing food distribution, and one of our youth, me and Vivian, man, shout out to Vivian. She's a boss, man, 15, 16 years old. And she was like, man, Uncle, I really love this. I said, yeah, baby, he can grow up and get a nonprofit and get paid to do this. She was like, Uncle, you get paid to do this? And it's like, yeah, just because, for your service and helping out the community, but just understanding that sometimes we don't realize what we're good at what is that? Is the internal part of it, making people feel good, doing um, doing right by people. Like that's a gift in itself. You know what I mean? Being kind and being helpful, and the way our people is respecting our elders, like Lucy said, right? Like that's all I know. I like, it was hard for me to tell an elderly person what to do, just because, like, in my church role, or in my family role, or my work role, because that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm taught. But you know, it, I think that's so. Now I'm just getting tongue twisted, or just getting long winded here. But just understanding our culture ways is a beautiful talent in itself. So
Thank
sorry.
you. That's beautiful.
Go ahead, big
Uh,
oops.
yeah, for me, I think my why is personal. It's a grudge I need to settle with myself.
Wow.
Did a lot of harm in the community. So much that I can live another 100 years and be of service to this community, and I still won't be able to repay for the damage that I caused. So it is personal for me. It's paying it forward. Some of the youth that I work with, or their parents reach out to us, and just extend their gratitude and their appreciation. But for me, it's paying it forward. You know, I've been absent in my kids' life when they was growing up, no fault of their own, for my choices, and I paid the price for that. I have to live with that, but like I said, this work for me is paying it forward. That's my why. I'm here to not to undo the damage and harm that I caused, because I won't be able to do that. But what I can do is try to bring some positive into the community that I once took so much from. That's my why.
Thank you.
Oh, you the man.
Why?
Oh, you the man.
I'm like, I don't know what to say to that.
I know.
Amen. Amen.
I was like,
Amen.
let's just
Amen.
pause there and
Let it
let it
sink
settle
in.
in
Let it
there.
sink
Yeah.
in and just laugh.
Just smile
Yeah,
and
no,
wave.
really. Me and Pete be at some of the functions, we be like, man, I remember when I was at an age, young and dumb, and I was walking to an event like this and be like, oh yeah, I'm finna tear this mug up. You know what I mean? Like that's the mentality that that belief system that I adopted, that today I
Hmm.
walk into and I can see the beauty of it. And man, I can't figure out for the life of me as a kid. Well, I figured it out. It is the warped belief system that I adopted, but it had me going into events, something like that, with a cultural event or a setting or a celebration function, and had me not see the beauty in that. And just had me see, oh,
Mm.
here's a chance to get a reputation, or get my name known around here, and I'm finna tear it up.
Yeah.
And
We've
now God
learned
go,
so much from the two of
Yeah.
you.
We've come, yeah, definitely a long way. And kind of the question I'm about to ask is along the same lines. Um, but what is something this podcast gave you that you didn't expect?
Uh,
Good question.
what Upu said it earlier before, right? Like, none of them went to school for it, and it's not like they're stupid, right? It's just that we learn differently. And one thing that we learned, and one thing that I learned from each and every one of those business owners, is mentor. Like, we're like a mentor type learning, to where we like Nelly, right? She was doing her mom's business. That was her mom's business, right? I remember
Hmm.
talking to Terrence and talking about like a mentor, like, if a mentor, and that goes to that trust, right? That trust part. Like, like, even though we got resources, like, we don't trust it. You know, like our people don't trust things. So that's why, like going back to the trust part of me and Upu, it felt good for our community to trust us. So that's what I learned is like if we was to do a business seminar, we would have to find authors. To me personally, someone who looks like us, that's done the business, and share their wisdom and knowledge, so that they can learn from instead of just a seminar, just anyone coming up there and speaking about business. So that's what I've learned. It
Yeah,
matters that it's us that's doing this podcast. It matters who we look like them, we talk like them, and we our histories like them. So my bad. Yeah, that's what I want to share.
no, you good. I think for me is what I've learned surprisingly about our community, our small business, is the tenacity of our people. You know, it's like, man, you got, man, the Chacones you got in some of the stories we was able to hear is just like, I would have never done something like that. You know, yeah, it's just the courage and a lot of us when you speak about Pacific Islanders, some people don't associate entrepreneurs in that category. But if you look closely, you look closer, man, I think we're the best entrepreneurs that the world has to offer, man. Just
Mm.
dating back to our ancestors, that our first generation that brought us here, that was entrepreneurs. You know, that was a business decision that they made, bringing their young family here to the states, and man, figuring it out. You know, they didn't have no blueprint or a roadmap to go by. And then, of course, the first layer of generation went through the struggle of identity, and now I think we're well nested. You know, we're well seated now in this and this economy and this community and this workplace and this business ownership. And man, watch out, you guys. Pacific Islanders is on the move from all the young small business that we interview to the older small business that we interview. You could just tell it's projecting. You know, something big is going to come on along for the next generation, and you can already see it with the younger generation. They're all doing their own thing. They're trying to figure out how nobody wants to work, finish school, and then be a worker for somebody else. Like our kids want to, they got the notion that I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna figure out how to make it work, be my own boss. And I think to go back uh, to their ancestry on when they first came to the States, it's like, man, your ancestors just smiling. You know what I mean? It's like, this was the whole sacrifice was for you guys to come here, figure it out, you know, do the right thing, and man, you guys just gonna
Mhm.
flourish in it. And here we are making our move. Shout
Yeah.
out, PIs. Let's go.
I wanna piggyback off what Opal said about our
Mhm.
parents, our ancestors being the the entrepreneurs. Like I always said that about my pops and them. I was like, and I always try to go back to it and think like them. Like, man, what was they thinking about coming to America? You know, when they did that? Because when I started doing the studies, a lot of them was going to New Zealand because of the
Mm.
it was a short travel. So for them to even come out here, that man, like you said, right? Like, man, what the audacity of them, right? Just to think about coming here. And then I love going back to. I remember sharing you guys with that quote that David Bessie got from Fiji. It was like saying our ancestors' ceiling is our floor, right? You know what I mean? And so now that our ancestors came, right? Me personally, my parents came, and now they're both gone. Now it's time for me to flourish on what they, and carry on what they wanted to come for, right? Was a better life for us. But I think also too was me learning like not only do I want to take that, but want to do more. Like I want to go
Mhm.
back to Samoa, you know what I mean, and build something even bigger. And if it ain't me, hopefully my kids and my grandkids will do that. And so just learning that whole entrepreneurship is been in us from the beginning. It's in our bloodline. And so yeah, let's bring it back to the forefront, y'all. Come on.
I mean, if I just want to add, I know I asked Lorraine if she wants to ask the next question, but I'll
Go ahead,
throw.
go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
No, no, I'm not going to ask a question. I'm just throwing
Oh,
commentary in here.
oh, okay.
I was just going to say, as both of you were talking, I shared this before with both of you. was that like I didn't always see small business as favorably as I do now, right? I think that over the past 10 years that my perspective on that journey has shifted away from it being about capitalism, right? And buying into those values of just getting wealthy and making money and being rich and to seeing entrepreneurship and the ways that our communities have poured into building small businesses as a form of self-determination, as a form of self-sufficiency, and not feeling like you want to go work for somebody else to take the money that you earned, but you want to work to be able to build legacy for your family, build livelihood for your kids, have something to leave for them. And those kinds of that kind of thinking, that kind of mindset is very Pacific Islander. It's a very indigenous Pacifica kind of thinking because we have to tend our own land, grow food, and it's not just to feed our families, but we also offer food to the larger community, to falavelavas and cavengas that you have to do for church and country. And it's a way for you to be able to earn that and determine for yourself how you want to use your resources. And I think we see the same thing with our small businesses today, at least what I've witnessed through this program, is that they also are always looking to support each other, right? Support
Mm.
other small businesses or support our community generally. So, and I'm like, like, yeah, folks to want to be able to make a living for the livelihood of their families, but they also want to pour into, and this is a theme I've seen with everyone that we've interviewed. They want to give back to community in some form. And so it is, this is there's a Fijian woman who does business workshops. She's a consultant. Her name is Clarinda. She lives in Hawaii, but she talks about business as ceremony, as indigenous Pacific Islanders, as a way that we create means to contribute to our families and our
Mm.
obligations and our duties. So I just wanted to share that this has solidified that kind of thinking for me, that this is a form of self-determination for us. We get to decide what we want to do with our resources when we can bring in livelihood for our families and get to
Amen.
build a future for our families and leave a legacy for our kids. So, shout out to all of our entrepreneurs and small businesses that are out there for the infrastructure you're building for hopes and dreams for our communities. So, Lorraine, I didn't know how to transition, but
It's okay. We have another YouTube question. It's like, oh, everybody's on YouTube tonight. Um, the question is on the business side of things, what's one key thing our people should know before stepping into the business world?
Um, one thing that I've learned about accomplish. So my thing was I always try to learn from someone that did it already. Um, like for instance, nonprofit. When I got into it, I wanted to learn from someone who's been in this in a long time. Obviously, Lorraine and Alicia has been doing this, so why wouldn't I not want to learn from it? And then understanding if that's what I want to do. So like for instance, if you want to get into clothing, right? Fawai is, I believe, is in that. You know what I mean? In apparel, right? So he's doing it. So learn from someone that's doing it already. I've and then actually apply your own thing in it. But because like I said, I've learned through this roots of resilience that we don't like the school thing. Our school is a mentorship and on hands training. On like you said, hey, they have an idea in their head, they go do it. That's our people. We're like, I think I want to start doing a restaurant. Let me go do a catering thing and just start cooking, and then start learning. But definitely would will find a mentor and think 10 years, a 10-year plan. Me personally, growing up, I knew how to make money, but I never knew how to invest my money. I never knew how to make my money long. And I think that transition game to do a 10-year plan instead of a 1-year plan is what changed my whole perspective on the business side of things. So, and I see that with a lot of our successful business, people that think 10 years instead of the 1-year plan. So, yep, that's what my advice would be.
Yeah, and just for YouTube, a disclaimer: we're not small business owner. We interview the small business owners. But for me, man, I remember. I think it was. I forgot what episode mid. It was uh, Tin Tang. Remember Tin Tang,
Yep.
the Vietnamese immigrant who was just released from prison and was facing deportation, and he started small businesses, tattoo shop. I think it was from his interview that gave me the courage because when we interviewed everybody prior to that, all of them, they pretty much, to me in my eyes, was already projected to become small business owner or success. Uh, and so when we would interview them, it was for me. I was just like, oh, I can't do what they done. They done put in the work. Nancy Elizabeth put in the work. Favai put in the work. Everybody, and I'm just now reintroducing myself back to the community. They was like, I ain't put in the time yet or the work. But after we interviewed Tin Tang, I was like, man, if he can do it, I can do it. And I think it's infectious. You hang around with business people, and then you start thinking, man, I want to start a business too. You don't want to be the only guy in the conversation that don't have a business. So with that tenacity, what I did was I went on ahead and started an LLC. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know they was asking me, "Oh, what's your business is?" I don't know. And they were like, "Well, you have all these to choose from." And I was just going through them to see what I was going to do, and I think I landed on fashion and fashion and consultation. Being a consultant, a thing, and I was getting that from my mentor. He would advise me, but I did want to pull the trigger on that just to get it going, and it came from just seeing uh, people have that tenacity to just do it. You guys, it's like I don't know the first thing about business, but I'm willing to try it, just like everybody else who we had interviewed. That was pretty much the theme of their story, and we didn't know what the first year was going to look like, and now they get like 10+ year in. And so that was very encouraging and empowering for me to have the tenacity to start my own LLC.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I've also been thinking about a small business journey, so
Do it, do it,
Do it.
do it,
Gonna be
this
our
do
is
it.
first guest.
also
Do
inspiring.
it, do it.
No, so I wanted to contribute to the answer just because, this is an um area of interest for our work. I think something that our community is unaware of is that there are a lot of resources that you don't have to pay for the growth of your small businesses. So there are entities called small business development centers. There's one, the LA one, there's a LA one there's one that's based at Long Beach City College. They have free workshops. They have all kinds of resources. They can help you with filing information for your business taxes and all a lot of resources, and you have to just look into it and attend. Sometimes they have grant opportunities that if you go to 3 of their workshops, then you are eligible to apply. And so there are small business development centers that are out there that essentially are either they function under like an academic institution or they are nonprofits of their own. So at least here in LA, that there's a LA Small Business Development Center. I don't think that's the same one, but there's one that's also based at LBCC. There's an organization in downtown LA called Pacific Asian Consortium for Empowerment. They've been around for a few decades and have a lot of small business support programs. They have a whole community development center. I mean, a small business development center at Pace that supports small businesses. So those resources are out there. They have social media, they have websites, so look that up. And they have year-round workshops that are free that people can attend. The other thing is, I know that one of the most commonly requested resource from our small businesses is funding, um, grants, right? Like not necessarily loans, but maybe if loans, maybe like low interest loans, um, that are maybe outside of like the banking system. So there are, if you don't want to go through a regular bank, there are what they call CDFIs, community development financial institutions, and those are essentially banks that are that work through the U.S. Treasury, but they are sometimes community based. So there are CDFIs that are at nonprofits. And a lot of times they have grants and they have small business loans that are very, very low interest. And so you can go through CDFIs that are at nonprofits. Their credit unions also have community development or business development grants. So those resources are out there. You have to put in the time to look out for them. And that's what we were trying to do, or not trying. That's what we were doing through this program, is bringing those resources and sharing that at the end of our Root to Resilience episode. So there are resources out there, and I'm saying that also as a note to myself, like you have to make time to seek them out. But there's a lot of support for small businesses out there.
You want to
And
start a
if
nonprofit? Go ahead and talk to Alicia.
I don't know anybody, you've started a couple of nonprofits, Peter, so I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, there are resources out there. So seek them out. And
Yep.
if you need someone to walk alongside you as you're seeking that out, or somebody to help find resources for you, we're here as SoCal Pickard. So even though this program is ending, it doesn't mean that we're gonna stop supporting our community when they seek support.
Amen.
So if you don't want to do it alone, um, yeah, hit us up. Well, somebody can come and help you, or just walk alongside you as you're seeking this out. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Amen.
Just hit up Lorraine.
Hit up Lorraine. So with that, guys, I know we are like well over, and I know we can talk forever, but you have families, and we want to get you back to your evening. And so we want to close out this conversation, but uh, I wanted to close it out by talking about what's ahead of us. Um,
Okay.
and even though tonight's conversation is closing one chapter of Roots of Resilience, but it's also to continue many more chapters of Roots of Resilience. And we're excited for what's ahead of us. And before we share any, and I also want to make time after this question to name all of our different guests that we've had, and just give a shout out to everyone that's given us time. But I want to ask you guys, what do you want to see for the future of Root to Resilience?
I want to see you
Well,
in person.
In
yeah,
person,
in person,
studio
I
studio,
need to
time.
see y'all in person. Need to touch
yeah,
y'all, hold y'all, hug y'all, give you your
spirit,
legs
all that.
personally.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, Upa was talking about it before Roots of Resistance even was a thought. And actually, it came from a thought that me and Upa was thinking about doing a podcast. And we was talking to my cousin Danny, who does Dreaming Mindset.
Yes.
And I was talking to my boy Twin. We were talking about, man, let's do a podcast called Gangsters in the Gospel, and
Ooh.
just talk about how that transformation of living that gangster life, coming back to God and our faith and serving the community. And then it's funny how this podcast, this opportunity came, and God was like, "Well, since you guys ain't gonna do it, let me give you something to work on." And I think now that we've been trained, practicing, and all that, I think going into the next um, cycle or next phase in our roots resilience is I would love to go deep into the healing part of our culture. Healing, um, and what was just finding peace. Like I told you about the interview with Joe. You know what I mean? That was so much more we could talk about, right? Obviously, it's the business side of it, but there was some deep conversations that could have came from that. Even me and my wife, me talking about the loss of our son and Fiji, the healing, of the grieving. So I love to just get deep into our healing and grieving because I don't think we talk about it enough, and I don't think we give a space for that um, to to cry,
Mm,
to laugh, and talk about it, and to educate ourselves on how to heal. I think a
mm,
lot of times we don't know how to heal, and we turn to what we grew up on is violence. I know that's for me, because I didn't know how to grieve, because I didn't know how to heal. I turned to violence, and that was my remedy. So
mm.
yeah, I think healing is
Healing
probably
conversations.
healing
All
conversations. Yes.
right.
Yeah, for me, I no snub to the small businesses, but
We love y'all.
we love y'all. You guys
Love you.
are holding the torch for us. But I do want to begin hosting or having some topics surrounding a lot of stigma that our culture presents. That still our kids now you see our kids carrying on this stigma, and uh, they shouldn't be.
Mm,
It's just we passed it on to them,
yeah.
the way our parents passed it on to us, and the way they parent and so forth. And so I think the more that we can talk about it, have conversation around a lot of these stigmas, like emotional intelligence that we talk about in the YUP program with our youth. Uh, they don't. Not often do we have spaces to address some of these things, and so I think Roots of Resilience is a good start, a good
Mm,
place for us to start having these conversations. Uh, Somewhere people I think could get familiar with, like, oh yeah, Roots of Resilience. This is what they cover, more broader of I think issues that and challenges that faces our community today that is not being talked about it in in the grand scheme of things, because that's why there's stigma. We always sweep it under the rug.
yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to talk about it. It's taboo. It's like, nah,
Hmm.
nobody. Oh, don't talk about that. What? Oh, you keep that to yourself, man. Nobody want to hear that. But it's like, man, that person is hurting. That person is unable to heal because they're holding it in and not given the opportunity to address it. So I would love to move forward and see more of those type of conversations with Roots
Mm,
of Resilience, amongst other things, though.
yeah. Well, that means we are continuing Roots of Resilience, and we will just move to a once a month schedule for now, since the grant is ending for the guys, and while we are looking for additional funding to build programming that we can continue to have the guys on staff here at SoCal Picker, we are going to continue to have them host Roots of Resilience. And so, yeah, continue to tune in. We'll make sure that we put our flyers up, give you all enough time with the amazing topics that we have ahead of us. I know that, we talked a little bit about these conversations around gang culture and those kinds of impacts. And we're lucky to have both of you with the knowledge that you've carried, hold these conversations. I think that you have the credentials to have these conversations, and we're lucky to be able to hold that here at SoCal Pickard. So this is not going away. We're going to continue Roots of Resilience because we have seen the value of having this space for our community. And we're so grateful for Peter and Upu agreeing to continue to carry Roots of Resilience. And you can continue to practice here until you start your own podcast that is much more professional and have all of the bells and whistles. We're happy to be a training ground here. So practice all the things here.
Hey, if we go to the top, you guys go to the top too, man.
Well, that's how it works.
That's
So,
how it works.
thank you for answering that. And so, before I hand it back to Lorraine to close us out, and give you both an opportunity for some closing thoughts, I feel like I'm gonna share my screen. Please ignore my tabs because I want to go through and just shout out all of our
Yes.
guests from
Thank you.
episode 1 to
Let's
episode
go.
30.
Mm,
So,
Oh, you're the
yay.
best, Alicia. That's why you're the best.
so we're gonna start with, I don't know how you guys want to do this. If you want to trade off like calling out the names and the businesses um of our episodes and I'll just scroll, or how do you want to do this?
We'll just go through the episode, each
Uh-huh.
It's
episode, and me and Peter give one word on that episode.
mm,
Oh, awesome. Okay, we'll start. Episode 1 was Favai Favai.
Well, first of all, let me give my my virtual lace to Opal because I think he showed up to all of them. I think I was MIA on a couple of them, so please forgive me, man. Thank you for holding it down, Big O's.
So
mm.
we
That was
do,
very
Boogaloo.
nice.
So we do Boogaloo. Okay,
So
great. That's love. Okay, so one word. Favai Favai.
educational.
Boss.
Boss. Nice. Episode 2, Nancy Elizabeth.
Ooh, inspiring.
Ooh.
Yeah, gifted.
Ooh. See, I had an idea for like a rapid fire questions, and this works out perfectly for that. All right, episode 3, Freddy Gutierrez.
Roots. I remember he was part of Heidi's and KCF, and
Yeah, he's a
yeah,
tomorrow sound
yeah,
designer in
yeah.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
For
Mhm.
me, I guess my one word would be surprising. I didn't know he was behind a lot of those movies that I love.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. 4, Dana Ledoux Miller.
Man, that's one I missed, but I would have loved to be there because I was in my alumni, high school alumni,
Yeah,
Long Beach Poly. I missed that one.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Episode 5, I believe this is Havana Night Collective.
Mm,
Those brilliant women.
yes, energize. Yes.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood. Episode 6 was the oh my gosh, the
Miracle.
the
Very cool. Poly Grill. Poly
poly
Grill.
grill. I'm like, not poly cafe. That's an internet thing.
Oh, what's the word? Caring.
Mm,
Caring. She
I know
was.
Opal went and
I,
ate there.
yeah, several times. I love their food. Shout out to Kaisa and Tina. Miracle was my one word would be fun.
Mm,
I think it was the first time or well, I felt our episodes was, lighthearted and
fun.
fun.
7, Joe Vaipulu, youngster
Healing.
healing.
Vulnerability.
Mm. 8, with Tarao Salima and Almanga Inc.
Hey man, I gotta use the whole sentence for this one, man.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Love my brother, man. Boss.
Yeah.
I'm going boss.
Yeah, man. He since then I'm gonna say my one word for Tada would be for me mentor.
Mm, nice. 9,
Yeah.
with Nelly.
Nelly. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes. Love her work.
Um,
Flowers, lays, the details.
yeah, what is Nelly? Nelly is I don't know, I think of Nelly's tropical.
Tropical.
Think of
10,
Nelly
with
and her product is tropical.
generous. Um, episode 10 with Tin Thang. That was a connection through API Rise, yes?
Yes.
Yes. History.
Mm,
Kind of, sharing some history on some things.
that's right.
Determination.
Nice.
Mm.
And 11 with Tia Tualo.
Oh, yes, Tia. My sister Tia. Hustler.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, we seen her. Well, I seen her at the Breeze sister fitship
Mm,
race. She was one of the 10th that was generously over there offering her service, caring.
nice. And I know 12 is in our videos, but let's see, can we Moses from the dojo in Carson. Where is that?
That's that. I was excited.
Ah,
I was
this one.
excited to hear him talk about his craft. Yes, excited.
Uh, Man, what's the? I'm trying to find one word for peace through strength.
Ooh, nice.
Mm.
Okay, back to our I thought that was gonna work faster. Okay, 13 was our Fiji tribute.
Mm.
Um, I think we talked a little bit about that already. I'm gonna skip over to 14 with By the Sanctuary with Nina and
The girls.
yeah, the
Touching.
girls.
That was very touching for me.
Mm,
Very, very touching.
I felt blessed. I felt blessed that they were just so lively and energized and ready to go and vibrant.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that word, vibrant.
vibrant. 15 was Polly car sales.
uh, Unique.
Unique.
Boy, different. Yeah,
Yeah,
unique.
man. What is
Yeah.
the one word for Brian? He be out there, man. I'm trying to find. You
Yeah, he's a
already said
hustler too,
hustler.
man.
Yeah, you already said
They want to use the
hustler.
same word on
Uh, go getter.
Nice. 16 with David Besse,
it.
Paca's
Mm,
Island Grill.
intelligent. I love listening to that guy talk.
Yeah,
Determined.
nice.
Mm.
17 with Auntie Fran from Piam.
Man, that anti vibe. Uh, Mana.
Mana.
Yeah.
Educational.
Nice. 18 with Siasi
Mm,
Ayono.
that's a good one. I want to
Oh,
say, I know he started a school. This say inspiring.
mm,
Yeah, inspired. Yeah, because I think he played football, got hurt.
mm-hmm,
Yep. Yeah, very inspiring.
Teacher.
And
mm.
going down memory lane, it's tight.
Yeah, so coaching, right? All of
Yep.
these different kind areas or
Yeah.
Mhm.
really so and then oh, I'm matching JP in this one with my sweatshirt. 19 with JP, an artist.
Yeah. Thank you for Ubu
Smooth.
holding it down. So I let Ubu answer this one.
Smooth.
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 Toast is always smooth, man. He's just cool as a cucumber, man.
Yes, exactly. Shout out JP, who's going to be holding the community art space at the Samoan Heritage Festival this coming Saturday. So come see him with his artwork that is on our merch for SoCal Picker. And then 20 with Hiram,
Um, uh, uh, go getter.
that one episode we thought he was in the bathroom.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
getter.
man. We gotta follow up with Hiram soon, man. Haven't tapped in with the bro, man. But my one word for guess would be entrepreneur.
Mm,
He embodies the entrepreneur.
nice. 21 with Q.
Man,
Hey,
Q, my boy. Uh, man, I don't want to use the same words for everyone else, but like I was very educational for me, but
Mm.
funny. I find it funny. It was a funny, or I don't know. Sorry
This
about that.
guy's I mean, all of our folks, multiple talents. I mean, Joey's
Yeah,
working in higher ed now, right
yeah,
now, right? But also
hectic.
running Island City Media.
Yeah,
Just So talented.
Yeah.
Upu.
I'm gonna say because of his new role, Professor.
Professor. Professor
Pro-
Q.
Professor Q, man.
Um, 22 with two scoops. 2 scoops of rice.
Memory's such a hustler. She's a go-getter.
Yum yum.
Yum yum.
I'm gonna
The
say,
shrimp.
I gotta try it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say go-getter too. But,
Nice. 23 with Sionnet Alpha from T's Toe Rings.
oh man,
Hey man,
he
I
is.
need my
He is.
toenails done, bro.
What? Oh, there goes the word. Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah, that guy right there, man. He's special.
What's the word for something that's long lasting?
Longevity.
There we go. Longevity. Man, been in business 44 years, man. Probably self-proclaimed the longest Polynesian owned business here in Southern California. Gotta
Yeah,
give it to
at
him.
a place that's like not so easy to have a
Right?
business, a Redondo Pier, right?
Okay. I would have
And
been got kicked out of there.
and sorry to track, but like going back to what I was talking about, our talents, our cultural talents. Like he's one of those guys that like teaches that, talking
Yeah.
about like who we are is the business. You know what I
Is
mean?
the business.
He's the business.
Yeah.
Toe ring is just something for him to sell, but he's the business. So he's a perfect example. But
Yeah, you're right. What a great reminder. You're reminding me of that conversation.
yeah,
24 with Ron and Lucy Clark from
Ryan
West
Lewis.
Coast Lions.
Oh man, oh man, resilient, resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say miracle, man, because his interview, man, when he said that, hey, you guys want to see a miracle?
He's like, right, the miracle child.
Miracle, man. My boy's a
Miracle.
miracle.
Yeah, and also the amount of work that they're doing in community,
Yes,
Oh
amazing.
man. Shh.
amazing.
That when Lucy called the mayor of Compton from the food distribution that one time,
Yep.
and and then the mayor showed
And
up
she
at the
pulled
food
up.
distribution.
Shh. Tell you, Lucy
I
got the
was-
keys to the city, man.
That's how you know. That's how you know. Lucy
Right.
got it. She got it
Right.
like that.
Mama
He.
The
Lucy.
the mayor pulled up even though she was on her way back from LAX dropping off her daughter at the airport.
Yeah.
And then 25 with Kadisha.
And
Tagwa.
rising generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Youthful.
Youthful. 26 with Sabrina Femata.
Man, proud.
Oh,
That was a proud moment. Yeah. Proud.
Proud.
yeah. Happy.
Happy. 27 with Terrence and Crystal.
Man, what was
Booty
Sapasweeble,
pee
yes?
pee.
yeah. I love their energy.
Yes.
Or I love their their togetherness. Humble.
Yeah.
Humble. Very humble personalities.
Yeah. That's great
Hardworking,
to
like
see such a young team.
yeah, blue collar workers, right? Blue collar couple just
Mhm.
with so much faith and just go to work. I love them.
Yeah. 28 with our sister Kalani.
That's
Hey.
funny. He's funny. That one was funny right there. Yeah, it's and so much knowledge and wisdom. Man, wisdom.
Yeah.
I guess she has so much wisdom to share.
Uncut.
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 Raw and uncut. I love Kehlani, man. She speak it how it is
Yep.
Yes, yes.
and make you laugh at it
At the same
at the
time.
same time.
29 with Spencer.
Really love
Hey.
Spencer's interview. What's the word besides proud? Just being the oldest, taking care of his family, starting a business, to like so culturally grounded and spiritually grounded with his father passing away. And what's the one word to explain that? Sorry, I'm lost for words. Alisi, Lorraine.
You said a lot of words.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, you already said them all. Just
Special,
You said them all.
special. My boy's
I'll
special.
say
Mm,
motivating.
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 Mm.
Nice. Can you believe it? 30 was Vailupe Maile.
Oh, I know. That's the one we would.
Uh,
Hey, I watched that interview and that was so educational for me. I want to say, uh, what's another word besides intelligent? Um,
brilliant.
brilliant. There you go. That
Yeah,
was a
come on,
brilliant
guys. You stole my
conversation.
answer.
Yeah.
I need to
It
up
was.
my word game, man. I need to up my word game. Brilliant. That was a brilliant episode right there.
Yeah,
Very,
definitely.
very, very well spoken.
Yeah, she's well versed in her field.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's some smart people right there that interview right there. So,
Man, just looking
yep.
at this, Alicia, just man, it getting me kind of emotional just seeing all these episodes on the screen, just little shots of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
Mm.
Yeah,
did all of that. You
Yeah.
did all
wow,
of that.
Just thinking about like
pretty
by the
cool.
sanctuary and Havana Nights, and then thinking about Sione, like the beginning parts of on the stage of business, and then the
Mm.
ending, like him like trying to sell his business, talking about retirement. I think that was just a great just two different aspects of life. You know what I mean? And seeing, and honestly, if we took what Sione said, right, well, basically be yourself, right, like understand
Mm,
who you are as your culture and sell that.
yeah.
Sell the hospitality part. Sell the love. Sell the
Mm.
intentional part. Right. Man, I learned so much from that dude, man, and definitely gonna take that into what we're doing in our work, line of work. So shout out to Sione, man, the toe business,
Yeah. Thank you for
toe
the
ring,
walk.
toe ring.
Thank you for the walk down memory lane. I
Oh,
think one
thank you.
one word that I would say that I capture from all of our guests is generosity. I think that's also
Mm.
one of our great gifts as Pacifica people is we know what that looks like. We know how to be generous. And all of our guests were generous in their time and energy and gifts and openness to sharing anything they can with others in our community. So, yeah, thank you to all of our guests. Shout out to all of you for being part of this journey. And I want to hand it all over to Lorraine to close us out. You guys get one more question. But I also just want to say for this episode here, um, is my one word for this episode, since we don't get to reflect on it another time, is gratitude. I have so much gratitude for what you guys have shared,
Mm.
have given to this, have given to our community, have given to SoCal Pickard, and have given to me and my own learning. So that's my word. And I'm going to hand it off to Lorraine for her word and then going on to the next closing.
Yeah, to sum it up in one word, it's a hard question. Um, but I guess my word would be validating. Uh, just to be in this space to normalize having our Pacifica people, just showcasing and highlighting them in this space that was, um, created and led by both of you, and our SoCal Picker team behind the scenes. There's definitely a lot of love poured into this. And so, with that being said, it was an honor to co-host this last episode. And before we, officially wrap it up, I just want to give you both some time for any last words of wisdom, any counsel. Um, yeah, before I go into the resources and wrap it up.
Thank you
Um,
guys.
Go ahead, Biggs.
Yeah, no, thank you. It doesn't feel like it's the end of something. Uh, but if I can, just man, humbly express and extend my utmost appreciation and gratitude for SoCal Picker and even Peter. trusting a wretch like me. I came with baggage, and I came with asking for mercy, and you guys gave that to me. You guys provided that to me. Gave me a home, uh, gave me a sense of belonging and empowerment. And I think that's if you guys can do it for me, imagine how many times we can do it over and for our community. So just want to make sure I extend that to you guys personally, or while we face to face. Just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart on behalf of my family and my community, people that support me. They know that you guys are behind a lot of things that's working good in my life today. So thank you guys.
Mm.
Mahalo.
Hello.
Thank you, Upu.
Yeah, thank you, Ubu, for sharing that. And yeah, you're right, man. SoCal Picker, and a space that we're allowed to be ourselves, be our culturally Pacific Islander self, uh, family. That's all I know is how to be in a family. And Alici definitely done that in this in the setting, and we were able to do the same thing in Roots Resilience. Is to not only interview people but become family after that. And so I'm grateful to for that space. And if one thing I could share or share some wisdom is do if you're looking for something to do, I've learned this is that if you're looking for something to do in your life career wise, um, find something that you'll do for free. And then after that, that's what you will do for your rest of your life. Because I just learned that I love serving, and I'll do it for free. And I'm able to get paid for it and do it. So, but yeah, I love serving. I love doing this work, and the biggest thing too is also supporting team. Like working SoCal Picker is the best. Like I said, best job I ever had. Working with people that not just here for a short time, here for the long run, and doing like-minded people. I'm surrounded with like-minded people, so kudos to this environment that I'm in, and yeah, and just be you, work hard, keep the faith, keep the faith. Yes, because this is just the beginning. Lots
Mm.
more to come.
Bam, 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 bam. Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go.
Where's the poppers at?
Let's go.
So with that, Upu and Peter, we again want to thank you both for um, sharing your presence with us. To see both of you grow along the way, both come a long way. And I know both of you always mention how you've learned a lot from us, but you don't know how much I've gained from both of you, just being in the space, being on a team together, just both of you sharing your light and um, for our Pacific Islander businesses, because they felt heard, seen, and valued, it was because of that space that you provided for them. And so, just want to thank you. Um, just for sharing, being open and honest and authentic, because it's not always easy to be that and to be you in this world. And so, thank you again for all that you've done, not only for Roots of Resilience, for SoCal Pickert, but for our Pacific Islander communities. And, we're going to continue doing the work no matter what's going on. But again, yeah, learned so much wisdom and just, so much that'll be another podcast episode. But, it was such a great time, just seeing the growth, the relationships, just the ideas, the creativity. So just grateful, on behalf of our team to both of you. Um, with that being said, we just want to share some brief resources. Of course, they'll be available on our social media. We have a webinar that helps to take your business further. Um, you can learn about this program and what you can gain and how to apply. It's on Wednesday, July. Oh, Before I share the resources, also want to give a shout out to the YEP program. Here you can find them
Yeah.
at the YEP program. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me make this. Youth Utilizing Peace is a youth leadership and violence prevention program designed for young people ages 12 to 18. Through interactive workshops, community service, food distributions, mentorship, and hands-on activities, YEP empowers youth to develop leadership skills, emotional intelligence, and healthy communication while building confidence and positive relationships. So yes, that's where you can find Peter and Upu at the YEP program and follow them on Instagram, help support our youth as well. And then for our resources, yes, the link will be available as well. We can go ahead and move to the next resource. Our second resource, where there's a business fair and startup clinic supporting entrepreneurs and small business owners with guidance on starting, managing, and growing their businesses. They operate on a first come, first serve basis, where each individual is eligible to receive up to 30 minutes of free consultation services. So that is, if you're a Pacific Islander business owner, please check out the PacBiz directory made by our people for our people. If your business is already listed, please claim it. If you're not yet listed, please add your business to the directory. A great way to for our community to discover and learn about our business. So you can check out their website there. And again, check out our Instagram stories for links to all these resources. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at SoCal Pickard, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube to catch up on all of our Roots of Resilience episodes if you missed any. Check out our website, socalpickard.org, and subscribe to our Amplified newsletter for more of our work. Again, we just want to thank all of you for joining us, all your comments and questions, and all the love you've shown to our team. Thank you, Upu and Peter, for your time, energy, and love. Thank you to our co-host, Lacey, for holding it down during this episode as well. And our shout out to our background team, Meal, holding it down for us live streaming. And so with that, we will close Roots of Resilience tonight with a prayer to bless us all tonight. And I'll go ahead and pass it over to Peter.
All right. Well, let us give thanks to our Father in heaven for this wonderful episode. Let us pray. Our dear Father in heaven, we are so grateful to come at this time to give you all the honor and glory that we're able to have this platform, Roots of Resilience, to highlight our small business owners in our Pacific Islander community. I'm so grateful for the leadership of Alici and Lorraine, that we continue to counsel with each other and talk ideas of how to strengthen our community. And so grateful and honored to work alongside with Brother Upu and the things that we're able to do and have the energy and strength and the resources to do the work. Father, we're so grateful for all the staff behind the scenes that we're able to help get the questions from YouTube and outside connections that we're able to answer, and hope and pray that they felt the spirit tug at them to do something positive, to start a business or to support a business in our community. May we continue to bring resources and light to the things that people are struggling with. May we be a source for them that they always look up to SoCal Picker for any help that they may need. May we continue to be resourceful and help those who are in need, and may we continue to be out there in the community to be visible and to always be there for our community. Father, we're so grateful for this opportunity again. Thank you for the technology that we're able to be in different places, but all in one place. And we give you all the glory for that. And we say these things humbly in the name of that Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
And Lord, please,
Amen.
for
Looking out,
bless
those.
all